Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my Fluid Art channel. I am in Canada. I'm in Hamilton, Ontario at my friend Conrad's house. His husband Charlie is off on a business trip, so Conrad and I are playing around and we're going to paint together tonight. So he is being my cameraman. We scoured this city today looking for a tripod camera stand that would hold my iPhone, and we could not find one. I thought I'd found it. I bought it at Walmart. We got home and the piece that holds the camera onto the tripod was missing from the thing. So he's just going to be my cameraman, and then when it's his turn to paint, we're going to switch places and I'll be his cameraman. So you'll get to meet him here in just a moment. We are going to do a couple of flip cups for you tonight. Conrad has picked out all of the colors with one suggestion from me. And we are going to do a sandwich layered flip cup, and we're working on 16 by 20 inch canvases. I have them taped on the back and up on giant push pins, and you can probably see that the canvas is a little wet because it was a little loose, so I have sprinkled it with water so that it sounds like a drum, so it's nice and tight, and that loose canvas won't affect our composition of the end results. So let me walk you through the colors that Conrad has chosen. And so focus down here if you don't mind. This is our color palette here, and this is my tea that Conrad made for me. I'll try not to drink the wrong thing. So we have Liquitex Titanium White. Looks like this in the bottle. And then we have two silvers that I have combined to get this tone. So this is DecoArt Dazzling Metallics Shimmering Silver, and I have Liquitex Liquitex Professional Heavy Body, and this one is called where is it? Iridescent Rich Silver. This tone was a little darker than this, so I used this to deepen that silver up a bit, so it had more contrast between the silver and the white. They were a little too similar. And then I have 24 karat gold from DecoArt Americana Decor Metallics. And I have Liquitex Basics Mars Black. I have just a little bit of that here. And the last color, the one that I suggested that we needed some kind of pop color, we went with Phthalocyanine Blue from Liquitex Basics also. And it looks like this. And what I've done also is I've mixed this color and the Mars Black to get a more of a Prussian blue color. So it still shows very blue in the camera, but when this dries, it dries very, very dark, like a gray, like a blue gray. So those are our color palettes today. We are going to layer on our 16 by 20 inch canvas. We need 12 ounces of paint. This is a 12-ounce cup. We're going to layer this and we're going to flip cup it on top of the canvas. And whatever paints I have left, we will use as a flow extender around it, and then we'll tilt it out. So that is our process. And if we're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. So for a sandwich layered pour, we want to use our white as the bread. So we put a nice healthy layer of white in the bottom of the cup. And then we just drizzle the other colors on top of it. So I'm going to start actually with the silver. And we're just going to put a little bit of paint right on top. I'm not trying to pierce the layer of white. I don't want it to go through. I want it to sit on top. And I'm going to go next with this Phthalocyanine, the brighter of the two blues, right on top of that silver. One of the other reasons that I added the DecoArts in here amongst all of these Liquitex Basics is when you paint with multiple brands of paint, you are more likely to get cells because they all use different binders, they all have different ingredients, and sometimes those ingredients react together to give you cells. So I put in the gold, and now we're going to go with this Mars Black. I find that Liquitex Basics Mars Black is a really dark gray. It's not a true black. I prefer my Amsterdam, but Michael's didn't have that color this time. So we're going to now do the custom color that we made right on top of that. And then we're going to cover that with another thick layer of white. So all of our colors are layered on top of each other and then sandwiched in between layers of white. And a nice healthy amount. And there's that. Now let's do it again. This time I'm going to start with the gold instead of the silver. One of the other tricks to getting cells too is to layer your metallics between non-metallics. So since I've used a metallic there on top of a non-metallic, I'm going to put another non-metallic on top of the gold, and that will increase the likelihood of us getting cells. Which is one of the reasons, or one of the things that Conrad wanted out of this pour. He likes the cells.
Mm-hmm. Kenny, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you put your paints back down over here after you pour, are you putting them in a specific order? Like, how did you remember that the gold went round 1 first and then you put the silver round 2, or vice versa? Like, how did you know?
Because it's only been a minute,
okay,
so I can remember that long.
All right. I thought there was some method to your madness.
An hour from now, I won't remember what order I put these in, but I just did it so I can remember. So.
Got it.
And so we're going to put silver on top of those blues this time. So I've got plenty of colors in between the metallics, even though they are going to be touching just a little bit. And the black can go on top of the silver. And that should be all of the colors. So we'll do one final layer of white, and we'll just fill this cup right up. There we go. So that's 12 ounces of paint. It's a beautiful kind of neutral color palette with a blue. So we are going to now flip our cup. There's a couple of ways to do this. We can take this. When I flip a cup, I like to hold the cup gently like this, pull my elbow in against my rib cage because it steadies my hand, and then I can just count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and flip it over. But you can also cheat by putting the canvas on top, holding onto it, and flipping it directly over. It's a neater way of doing it, and because we are in Conrad's office and kind of a makeshift space, I don't want to risk, splattering paint everywhere. So we're going to do it the easy, cleanest way. So we're going to sit here and wait for a second and let these paints settle. The titanium white, one of the reasons this works so well is titanium white is a denser paint than all of these other colors. So letting it sit for a moment will allow that white to travel through the other layers and mix and cause some chemical reactions. Mm-hmm. So I'm just stalling for a moment to let that happen. That cup is really full, so there's not going to be a lot of that motion, but we're just going to tap it and encourage it to happen. I'm going to take a sip of my my tea. It is surprisingly cold here in Canada, and I'm a Costa Rica tropical boy, so this cold weather is really affecting my sinuses. Okay, I think we're ready. So we are just going to pull this up, and I'm going to move the lip of the cup through the paint to create some additional motion. So we're just going to lift straight up like this, and we're going to move it around. This might end up being very blue. Ooh, look at those cells coming up there. You see that? Look at them. Really nice. Love it. Now, one thing I forgot to buy was a torch. So these bubbles are just going to have to pop on their own. Sometimes you can just blow on them with your mouth and get them to pop too. But we're going to let that sit for a moment. Look at these gold cells popping up all there in a line. Really cool. Mm-hmm. Multicolored cells here. Ooh, this is pretty. But a lot more blue than I was expecting. I love that about fluid art, though. There's always an element of surprise. Okay, while we're waiting on this to develop a little bit, we're going to put down a flow extender. And then we're going to tilt this out. So let's see here. I have a lot of this really dark blue. So we're going to put a little bit of this blue here, all the way around. And the purpose of this paint, we're not leaving any of this, we'll be covering this up, but a dry canvas is a thirsty canvas, so something has to stick to the canvas, and rather than lose some of this to the canvas, we're going to put this down so that this floats over top of the wet paint that we're spreading around now.
And what did you call that again?
We call it a flow extender because it helps your poured paints flow. Phthalocyanine blue is a transparent color. If I were using this as a base coat color, or if I was planning on leaving some negative space, I would have pre-painted the sides and edges of my canvas so that, because see, if I get a little thin there, you see how the canvas shows through? That's what happens when it dries. So, because it's so transparent. But since we're just using this as a flow extender, we're expecting all of this to go over top of it. We don't need to pre-paint the canvas in this particular case. I normally have a little spatula that I use to do this, so it's a little awkward for me going sideways. But the only thing we're trying to do here is wet the canvas down. I could have used any of these colors for this, any of these leftover colors for this. But this is just the color I have most of.
I like your technique where you put the cup down over here to get a little mini job.
I know. It's actually quite pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel like I'm going to lose my voice eventually. That will make a couple of people very happy. I guess I'll have to keep all of my witty retorts to myself if that happens. Yeah. There we go. Just going to clean that off a little bit. I'm normally a very messy painter, everybody knows it. So I'm trying my best to be very clean here in Conrad's home.
Doing a great job, Nate.
Thank you, thank you. Okay.
The paint, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So this line of cells there is so cool. Mm-hmm. I don't normally like them when they're in a line like that, but I love the motion of it. It's really cool. This silver through here is really nice. This is a little penis shaped. We're probably going to get rid of that.
Do we have to, though?
I guess we don't have to. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move this paint around a little bit and see what it wants to do first. Maybe we can open these lines up a bit. I sure am not mad about this color palette.
Oh,
What do you think?
I think it looks pretty good so far.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
You're happy with your color choices, even though it's more blue than we were expecting?
It is a little more blue than I thought, right? A little baby bluish.
Yeah. Because it mixed with the white. Maybe when you do yours, instead of using white as the bread layers, we can use the that custom blue.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
And let's see how that changes the overall effect.
Ooh, it'll close to the edge here.
It'll end up being a lot darker, but that's okay, right?
Yeah, I think it could look great. This is really nice so far.
All of my paints, I don't have all of my normal ingredients either, so all of my paints are just mixed with Floetrol. 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. I did not use any water to thin these down. It was already the perfect consistency for a flip cup. So I didn't need to thin it out at all or thicken it up.
What kind of style would need to be thinned out?
Dutch pours need to be thinned out. Swipes need to be thinned out. The big swipe that I'm doing for you, the commission piece, I will be thinning these paints out a little bit in order to do that.
Okay. Oh, I'm loving this here. This kind of band color looks really good.
It does. Oh, you knocked the light over. Okay, we're going to go over this corner.
So I have a question for you. Do you want this filmed in landscape?
Always, yes.
Okay, great. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, YouTube wants the landscape.
Oh, we're breaching over
We're
here.
going over the edge. There we go. And now, as soon as we go over the edge, we pull it back really quickly because we don't want to lose too much. And then we just use our finger. We take some drips here and we cover that corner if we missed it. There we go. And we're going to turn our canvas around so that the people watching on the camera can see what's happening. I can always tilt towards the canvas that way. And we're going to go off the this lower corner down here next. You want to focus on that spot. Now, the last time I did this and I painted with a friend, I painted with my friend Carol, and when she was down visiting him in Costa Rica, and hers turned out better than mine. That's not allowed to happen this time.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I think that's for sure going to happen this time.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see.
That was looking quite nice.
It's cool. I like it. And, okay, so I'm going to go to that bottom corner down there again. Just turn this canvas around. Let that paint continue to drift slowly. We don't want to tilt too quickly. You see what speed it's going right now? Even though I've got it tilted quite steeply, the paint isn't moving that fast. So that's one of the things we want to keep an eye on. We don't want the paint to move too fast or it warps the cells too much. There we go.
It's kind of nice with this touch of dark blue down here too.
It is. You want me to leave some of that negative space?
Yeah.
I need to go over the edge there.
Yeah, it's
and
not going to look good though.
It's not because I didn't paint the edges.
Correct. But keep it in mind for next time. That's where you can plop your cup.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cool.
And if you're going to use that color as your sandwich, then we're going to want to paint your edges. So when we pause this film before you do yours, we'll pre-paint those sides for you.
It looks pretty sweet with that dark blue on there.
It does, yeah. We're just going to grab that last little bit there. Go over that edge.
Nice.
You see how I kind of walk it back and forth a little bit too? I don't just go straight in any direction. And then we're going to pull it back. We always want to bring the weight of our paint. Once we go over an edge or a corner, we want to bring the weight of our paint back to the center.
Ah, I see. This looks really good over here too.
Yep.
Hey, not bad.
Okay, let me wipe my hands off real quick and I'll point out a few things. We'll do our wet results with Conrad as the cameraman, but I don't want to drip on it, so I'm going to wipe my hands off first. Here we go. A little trash bag going right here. All right, so this line right through here exists because once I flipped the cup, I used the lip of the cup to kind of travel through. So that's one of the paths that I took with the cup, with the lip of the cup. And probably this one over here too. It pulls some of the colors up from underneath the white. But you see as much white as we used in that cup, there isn't actually a lot of white left because it's so dense, it goes through the other colors and it lightens them. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens if we use that kind of custom blue that we made and see how it affects it, see how dark it ends up being. Mm-hmm. But there's some really cool things. I love this cell right here. That almost looks like a fetus inside of a womb or something. I love that. This one here with the gold and the blue together is really nice.
So good.
Yeah, I really love that. Look at this one here too. This cell is really gorgeous. I love this one here. Even though it's kind of wonky, kind of oddly shaped, I like it. Yeah, this turned out good. I love this line of gold right through here. That was all those gold cells. These gold cells here are beautiful. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I like it a lot. You like it too?
I do like it.
Good, awesome.
I think it's going to look great with the dark blue too. I'm excited to see how that one turns out.
Yes, okay. So lift the camera up for a second. Okay, so now we're going to trade places and Conrad's going to do some painting and I'm going to be the cameraman. So here we go. Okay, Conrad, are you ready?
I'm ready, Nate.
You look like I'm forcing you to do this.
No, I'm ready. No, not at all. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to celebrate Nate Bright Art Ready to celebrate 10,000 subscribers.
Yay! 10,000 subscribers!
Okay, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you for welcoming me to your studio space today. It looks like we're ready to do a pour. This is my first pour ever.
Yes.
Cup pour. I watched you do it just 5 minutes ago. We did a really nice piece. I loved it a lot.
Yes.
And now we're going to switch up the colors a little bit.
Yes.
Same color palette, different
order.
conduit. What is it?
A different order.
Different order. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Before we started, actually, you mentioned about painting the borders of this dark blue.
Yes.
So should that happen? Do we need a brush?
What are we going to do?
I can get a brush from downstairs.
Oh. Yes, go grab a brush. Okay, Conrad, thank you very much for remembering that. I completely forgot. You're going to have to be my assistant from now on. You're just going to have to move to Costa Rica and be my assistant.
Sign me up.
Okay. All right. So we're ready to layer our cup. So do you remember the first step?
We're starting with white, but in this pour, we're starting with something dark.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with that custom blue. Yeah.
Questo, which is, remind me again, this is the blue
This
and black?
is the Phthalocyanine blue and Mars black.
Okay. This is my first pour. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it's a good thick layer, you said, for the first one, right?
Correct.
How's that look?
A little more.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, great. And you captured the fact that we painted our border now black.
Yes,
This is for the spillover effect.
That's correct.
Okay, so now that's our color. And
Yeah.
what do we want to start with?
So now you can layer with any of these colors. I usually try and layer the first one with something really high contrast. So you don't want to go for this blue.
Right, I'm thinking the gold.
The gold, which is an excellent choice.
Okay, great. I want to take it easy, right? Don't want to let it penetrate.
Yeah. So it's in a paper cup. So pinch the tip of it just a little bit, and it gives you a little spout so that you can control how much is coming. Because you don't want much. That's enough. There you go.
Okay, that went faster than I anticipated.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's the gold. What color do you want to put on top of that?
I think a little bit of this black.
Okay.
What do you think? Because you don't. I remember from the last video, we don't want metallics going next to each other.
Correct.
Right. So, and then this would be what, like a trying to cover the gold?
Not cover. You're just drizzling it just like you did the other one.
Well, that drizzled a little hard, so.
Yeah. It's probably enough.
Okay. That might have been a light drizzle.
A light drizzle, that's fine. Because it's black on top of a dark color, so it's fine. Okay, so which one of these colors next?
And white's included in the choices here?
Yes.
Okay, great. So
let's finish off. Let's finish off this cup first.
Great, makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we got some black, and some white.
I always find that white with the gold creates really interesting cells. How about we don't have any silver yet? You want to use the silver?
I think that's perfect.
Nice. That's enough. Perfect. And then the only other color left is the unshaded
blue. Which honestly is not really my favorite.
Yeah.
So
we don't have to use a lot of it then.
I'm just going to put a little touch.
You're the one who picked that color.
No, you picked it.
I said we need a blue.
You advised,
picked that blue.
right, yeah.
Right.
So now I got to go back to the dark blue now.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, you're going to put another layer of red.
And this is going to be thick again.
Correct.
Right. And easy going. You don't want it to penetrate.
Don't want it to penetrate, but you want to put a nice thick layer of it. You want to completely cover all of these colors. See if I can get in there and see if everybody can see what you're seeing.
Actually, I think this is going pretty good.
It is going pretty good. From the side here. Oh yeah.
And I imagine it would be best. I think I did a pretty good job. It's pretty covered.
It's pretty
so
covered.
now when
I would keep going. Yep. Thicken it up. There you go. That's good.
What's your prerogative? What's your perspective on getting to the sides of the cup? What are the implications if there's too much paint, say, gets up the side? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so now we're back.
Now you're back. So last time you started with gold.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that again?
What's your, like, is there, if you layer with the same kind of repetition, does it really matter?
It doesn't change a lot, no.
All right. Well, we can
You
start
can do it any way you want to. It's
try reversal
the
order.
difference will be subtle. It's not going to be.
Maybe I'll start with silver then.
Okay.
Because I do like silver and gold, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah, that silver next to that dark blue is going to be nice.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good contrast.
Okay, then we'll probably bring in some of this.
You'll go to the black again?
I think so.
Yep. I think in this layer, I want you to use a little more of the white than you did in the last one.
Okay.
It is the color that gives us the most contrast.
Got it. Should I go with that now?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Wrong cup.
Is there still some in there?
There is, yeah.
So I don't want you to put it like a bread layer here, but yeah, drizzle a good healthy amount of the white around. There you go, that's good.
Nice, nice, nice.
You've got your gold.
I think it's time for some gold.
Yeah.
I think that's going to look great.
Oh, that's why it looked out of focus. I didn't have my reading glasses on. I'm like, why is my phone not focusing? Here we go. A little more black.
Can you do like color repetition? I imagine.
Yes, absolutely you can.
So can I do a little more gold now? Would that matter?
I wouldn't, just because you've already got a layer of gold. It's going to go right on top of the gold.
Got it. Cool. Okay, and then I lost track of what I.
You're gonna skip the brighter blue.
Yeah, why don't we skip that one this time? Did silver happen in there? Yeah. So now what I'm doing another flat layer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think this is gonna look pretty good, dude.
I'm excited to see it.
How many more layers of the color layers am I doing? Like 1, 2?
Yeah. Probably just one more. You're probably just about out of that, aren't you?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. You can use one of the stir sticks to scrape that cup out. And I can always make some more of that.
Okay.
By combining what's left of the black and the blue.
Right. Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah, there's a little bit left, but I can keep going. So now keep going.
Yep, do it again.
I like my golds in here.
It's pretty. But gold can take over, so we want to be a little careful with it.
And then what? You think some white?
White. I always like white on top of the gold.
And some black?
Mm-hmm. That'll give you some gray, maybe. Yep. And then silver.
Where does neon orange come in?
Neon orange? Not on this one.
All right, a little touch of blue, like
sure,
or no,
or do you want to combine the blue and black so you have more at the?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Okay. So what do I want to do now? So what do you think we should do?
I think you should take the stir stick and scrape out that cup.
Yep.
And get as much of that out and into this.
And then combine.
And then combine those.
Okay, great. And now we're done with all the other colors.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're just going to fill that right up. If I had a free hand, I would help you.
That's okay, got it.
Wow, you're a natural at this. Look how easily you're just layering that paint right on top of the other.
Well, I have a good teacher, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to take all of the credit.
Okay, so this is almost kind of fresh out.
Okay, that's good. Let me look and see real quick. There's not a lot of the blue and black together, but that's okay. Add the black into the blue. Yeah.
All right.
If we don't think that's going to be enough, you could add silver into that if you wanted to. But I
I
think
think
that's going to be
enough.
enough.
Yeah. But I'll let a little silver if you want.
No, you're good.
All right. So now we're just going the rest of the way. Actually, that's a pretty good match,
We're just filling it right up. Perfect.
Whoa.
Don't overfill.
Done.
Okay. Let's see. Can I get...
Oh my gosh, this is gonna look great.
Do we overfill? That is the fullest cup. One more drop and it would go over the edge. But it looks great. Look at that. Awesome. Now, are you going to flip it, or are you going to flip the canvas like
I'm doing the flip way. I gotta do it the way you did because I don't want to get paint. A rainbow of paint along the skin tonight. Is not what I want to do tonight.
I don't blame you. Yes. Okay.
Okay, but this is dangerous.
Yeah. So I'm going to back
So
up
let me
a
see.
little bit.
I'm a lefty, so I'm gonna want it like this.
Yeah.
So, so it's like this. Oh, Nate, this is tricky. I should have had the professional do this part. All right.
No, just
You
put
make
it
this
right on
thing.
top,
Yeah.
and then where the cup is,
Yeah.
put your hand on top of it on this side,
Okay.
so that you're.
Oh, this fucker's gonna overflow when I do that.
Don't cuss. Come on, no F-bombs. I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
Okay. It's gonna overflow though. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Just put it on, and then hold on to that spot. There you go, and then flip. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. Now, wait, you told me there's a technique. Wait, first of all, we want this to settle.
We want this
Actually,
to settle a little bit. Yeah.
I saw you do this thing. Holy
Yeah,
wow, I really remembered.
It's the magic tap. Yeah, you gotta have the magic tap.
I remembered that you talking about all of this.
You did overflow a little bit. You had so much paint in there. I love
I
it.
feel that. Okay, so tell me, give me some advice while we're waiting. But what I'm gonna do when I lift the cup? I saw you do like a roll and turn kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
so you're gonna pull this cup straight up, and let a lot of the paint come out, and then just run your cup like the edge of your cup like this, like tilt it up, and then run the lip of your cup around through the paint.
But no touching.
Yes,
Touch the lip to the paint.
Yes.
And run it through. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Make a little like say figure 8.
That's what brings some of the colors up from underneath all those layers and brings the colors up.
Okay. And then you did your kind of separate slap down. You left a little.
Yeah, and then I let the rest of the cup drain because there's still a lot of paint left in the bottom.
Okay, so I'm gonna lift.
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah.
Use the lip of the cup and touch the paint and do
Yes.
a little move.
Yeah, you just want to use one edge. Like if the cup is like this, you just want to run that through the paint.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna practice with this empty cup.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like that. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Easy going. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
There you go. Now run your lip around. Nice. That's enough. You don't want to get it too muddy. You're just trying to add some motion to it. Okay, let's get in there and look at it. Ooh, look at that. This is the magic part. Look at those gold cells coming up.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. Look at these cells growing as we watch. Look right there. I wonder if I can get in close. How close can I get? Isn't that beautiful? We haven't even stretched this out yet. Okay. Look at that. Damn it, yours is going to be nicer than mine.
This is what I told you.
Okay. So we are going to need a flow extender. So the color we have the most of over here left is this cup of white. So you're going to use
oh yeah.
you're going to drizzle some of the paint around the edges,
Yeah.
and then use a popsicle stick to smooth it out a little bit
Mm-hmm.
before we start tilting, and that gives these cells more time to rise up from underneath all the other layers.
All right, and this is I'm trying to fill up. I guess like I'm gonna go slow here, right?
Yeah.
Fill this up here, but up to here too.
Yeah, you're not trying to fill it up. You're just trying to spread some paint around because you're going to move it with your popsicle stick.
And I want to get it as close as I can,
Yeah,
but not touching.
correct.
So basically, it's almost like fill out the lines.
No, you're not trying to fill anything. You're just putting a bead around.
Okay.
You don't have to be too careful with it.
Okay. All right.
Because
that
paint will spread out a lot more than you think it will.
Up in there too, or no?
No. That's plenty.
Okay, great.
That's plenty.
So that's it.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
No problem.
Yeah, there you go. The hardest part to cover is the corner. So put a little more right here in this corner. And maybe a little more over there. Now this corner's good, but put a little more paint right here.
Got it.
Great. Awesome. Now use one of those popsicle sticks or stir sticks to
Right.
spread it around.
That part. Okay. Kind of like butter.
Yep. You're buttering the bread.
That's nice. And to the edge, spread it?
Yeah, right up to the edge.
Got it. Is this your first one-on-one coach video, Nate?
No, I did one of these with my friend Carol also.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, you mentioned it. You said hers turned out really beautiful.
And I teach classes, so
Right.
I'll be teaching a class at PourCon live in August. 6 to 9 in Las Vegas. I'm very excited to be teaching the radial groove pour. Oh, you drizzled right on the end.
Oh, that's not good.
And you cursed again.
I didn't swear.
This time it was an S-bomb.
Okay. Well, look, that's a shame that happened, but that's probably going to run off, no?
That's probably going to run off.
Get that weight out of there.
What's really funny is we painted these edges black and now we're putting white on top of it, so we probably didn't need to paint the edges, but that's okay. That's all right.
Or if we did paint them, they should have been painted white, but that hasn't been...
No,
It doesn't matter.
I was more worried about that blue letting the canvas show through, so white's probably not the best choice as a base coat, but it's what we have.
How's this going?
You're doing really well. How are you doing?
Good. This is great.
Look at the cells developing over here. Look how much that has changed while you've been doing that.
I think it's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice.
I like it. I think I'm gonna like it versus using this dark blue as like that conduit one.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think?
It looks good. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just it's just serving a purpose. It's not the final.
Great. I am still really upset about what happened here right now, but
you drizzle a little bit right there. But you remember when we come to the edges, we're gonna lose some of it over the edge anyway. So we'll be able to tilt that off, I bet.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now remove your cup.
This was a nice touch.
Yes. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, look, even the drips are gorgeous. Stop it.
Nice. Great. I love where this is headed.
Yes. Okay, so now you get to pick this up.
Yep.
And you get to tilt it out.
Okay, talk to me about strategies of where I would want to go first.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is move that paint around the canvas and kind of fill as much as you can without going over the edge. And that'll show us how things are going to spread out. And we can pick our favorite things to keep and our least favorite things to lose.
Got it.
Okay. So just tilt it around in a circle, towards the edges and towards the corners, but try not to go over completely. And again, you're not trying to go quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to let that paint flow. I'm not sure if I'm going to be speeding this up and putting some music down or if we should be talking through all of this. So
okay, well, we can just...
Yeah. It's hard to talk and concentrate on this at the same time.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult.
I don't want that white to pull into that too deeply.
It's fine. It'll work. Trust the process.
Oh, I trust.
Come back to the center a little bit. like bring the weight of the weight of the paint is here because that's where it was moving the fastest. So bring that weight back over here before you switch directions.
Got it. Oh, because I can see what happened at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's pulled too fast.
Okay, go towards this corner here. Try and get closer to the corner this time without going over. Look at those cells spreading out. Wow. I think that gold might have been just a little bit too thin. Might be thinner than the rest of it. That's probably good. Now come back to the center. Bring the weight back to the center again. Because it's really, those gold cells aren't holding their round shape. So I'm thinking maybe that paint wasn't quite thick enough. Okay, so what are your favorite parts here?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it's
so
looking
we
pretty
know
good.
we don't like this.
Yeah. So we're going to have to do a hard push.
We're going to have to do a hard push over there. But do you have a favorite part? So when we come to this corner over here, we're going to lose most of this as we try and get. This is round, and that's a corner.
Yeah.
So to get over there, you're going to have to lose a lot of this.
Right.
Right. So you're really looking at the center part here, not the edges.
Yeah. This is good. This is working.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get rid of the drizzle first.
Okay.
And since you brought the weight of your paint back to the center, you can go directly towards that corner now. You can probably see it, but I'll let you know when it goes over. Keep going. And tilt it. There you go. Keep going. Hard tilt. That's good.
Nice.
And pull it back and go right back to the center again. Now there's a couple things you can do. What you've done here is you've anchored all of this in place. None of this, anything that's gone over the edge won't move from that spot.
Okay.
But it will stretch and warp if you go in weird directions.
Okay.
So since the weight of the paint going over here, a lot of people tilt off this corner next.
Right.
But you can go from the center and go this direction if you want to. So it just kind of depends on what feels natural to you. What do you want to do?
What do you think is better?
This is my least favorite part that's currently on the canvas.
Yeah.
So I would go this direction, actually.
This corner then?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Let's get rid of that first. Before we anchor it. And I would get rid of all of that kind of grayish looking.
In the corner?
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
How's that?
That's good. Now bring it back and bring the weight of the paint back to the center again.
Which is, to get back to it, is like essentially go the exact opposite way that I just went.
Yes, correct. Yes, and you see how the paint is moving right here? As soon as it gets into the center, then that's where the weight is. Right? That's where you want it to be anyway. Did I touch your canvas? I don't think
I don't know.
Did I touch that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think my finger was wet with paint, but I think I touched the table. Okay.
You got it. Hey, this is looking pretty nice.
This is looking really nice. Okay, so which direction do you want to go next?
I mean, I do like what's happening here, so I don't want to lose it.
Well, you're going to lose some of it.
Sure,
There's no choice, but yes, you can go down that direction.
I think it's time to go this way.
Yep, okay.
Do you think I should pull it like this way a little bit first?
I want you to turn the canvas around, so when you're tilting to that corner, you're tilting towards me rather than away from me, so that our viewers can see it better. Very smart to put your hands around rather than dripping over top of the canvas.
I'm not messing this up.
Super smart.
I am not messing up my first time out.
This is gorgeous.
All right. The journey continues.
The journey continues. All right, let's go. Wow. Now that there's no glare on it at all, it's really spectacular. Okay, so come down that direction. There you go. You can leave some of that white if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind if it's poking out a little bit off the side.
Yeah.
Like kind of how it is.
But I want you to get to that corner though.
Yeah, got it.
Got it. Now go back. See that little bit of white that's on the corner? We'll just pick some paint off of the table and kind of dab it on there.
Yeah, but I think it's nice.
It's nice.
Actually.
I don't mind this little bit right here either. Right there. Can you see those two little spots?
Yeah, I think it looks great. Okay, so get back to center for a second.
Yep, we're good. So now, I think the weight of the paint still needs to come a little bit further back to the center.
Okay.
It's not quite there yet. Yeah, see where it's moving right here, over here?
Yeah.
It needs to get to this spot right here first. There you go. Now head this direction.
Ooh, it's getting slippery at the end here.
Yep. Oh, it's so nice. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Go. And stop. Now go back.
Hey.
Hey.
Not so bad.
Look at this. This is a happy painter right here.
Yeah. Not so bad, actually.
Wow. Look at that. Are you happy with that?
I am happy with it.
You should be happy with that.
With it, actually. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, let's check out these. I am gonna dab that just a little bit here.
Sure, you do think
that. Get that a little darker. Or some dark paint. All right.
I think in this corner too needs it.
There. There we go.
Yeah, fix this one too, Nate, because I don't want it to be white there in that corner.
All right. I love this. So we're gonna scrape the bottoms and all that kind of stuff, but I am not gonna have dry results. I will post that in the next video. But Conrad, you did amazing. I'm gonna have to stop painting with my friends because their paintings always end up better than mine. Or I can just say I'm a good teacher. And
it could never have happened without you, Nate.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that part.
That's correct. You know what? I love this motion that you got from doing the lip through it.
Yep.
Do you see those lines and the way that it created that the motion of the paint going in different directions? It's gorgeous. You did an amazing job.
Great. Oh, I love it. I could never have done it without you. Thank you so much for your support. I think this looks beautiful.
Good.
I can't wait to proudly hang it in my home. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thanks, everybody. And if you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and then come back and see us sometime.